Appreciate it, Claude. Moving on to Ole Miss, an extremely talented football team. That's all you know. They have two losses to two really good football teams, and we got a great challenge in front of us. They have a very good head coach who does a great job in all aspects of their program. I'm very familiar with their program, and they've been very successful since Coach Freeze arrived. Probably arguably one of the best quarterbacks in college football. I got a lot of respect for this guy. I mean, I've seen this guy play since he was in high school. We recruited him. I've been around him. I know a lot about him. He was at a junior college right over by Tuscaloosa. So, he's a great player. They've got really good wideouts around him. And they've got one of the most disruptive defenses in the country. And I know statistically you'll try to find weaknesses in their defense, but when you watch them, they are very talented. And they've got a good ball team. And we've got to focus on us. We've got to focus on getting our team better. And we've got some deficiencies that we really got to work on, and we're going to try to improve those this week. With that, I'll open it up.
Coach, obviously you guys are going to see a spread again, and a pass-oriented, it appears. Is that a good thing that you've already seen it, or is this markedly different? Are they saying, how do they compare?
They're very talented. They're different spread than, say, Missouri. They run the ball. They don't, people say they don't because they're committed to the run. They have to protect their offensive line. But the quarterback is as talented as I've seen, as I said, at throwing the ball. He doesn't make many mistakes. He's very athletic, which makes it hard to get him on the ground. When you do get a guy free or you do win in pass rush, because he can scramble. And the wideouts are big and physical, and there's a bunch of them. And some of the most talented ones are true freshmen. And I don't know that I've seen a group as deep as this one, from top to bottom at wide receiver, where there's so many guys that can go in the game and play, and they don't drop off when they change out guys. And that includes the tight end, who's especially talented. So, yeah, we've got a great challenge ahead of us. I mean, they've played two really good defenses on tape, and they've scored a lot of points and got a lot of yards. So, you see I haven't shaved.
Kirby, you've been, in your years in the league, why has the gap between the West and the East gotten as big as it's gotten?
I have no idea. I'm worried about Ole Miss, brother.
You mentioned their tight end. When defending a spread like this, how important is the alignment of where they put him, and also just how can Evan Ingram disrupt things for you guys defensively?
Well, he's talented. He runs like a receiver. They put him in spots where he can get vertical down the field. The guy runs by DBs, and he's a tight end. So when you got a tight end that runs faster than your DBs, you got problems because he can get matched up on a linebacker. And they do a really good job of putting him in situations to get him the ball. And he's a good blocker too. And they don't ask him to do a whole lot of blocking, but what he has to do, he does well.
Coach, can you take lessons learned from last week with Locke when you go up against a guy like Kelly, who is willing to go downfield but also willing to take off with the ball if need be?
Explain what you're asking. If we learned lessons from
can you take just from how you defended Drew Lock when you go up against a guy like Kelly?
Yeah, Drew Lock didn't run very much. He didn't take off and run. And he has the capability. He's got the athletic ability. He just chose not to. This kid is not like that. This kid is willing to do that. I actually think he enjoys it sometimes because he's like a linebacker playing quarterback. I mean, he's a little bit a rodeo bull rider now. This guy will do anything, and he's good at it. Trust me, I know from experience. He's good.
Kirby, with your familiarity with Ole Miss, how is that in terms of your preparation of the personnel, and also what do you remember about your coach Oxford?
As far as the preparation, I mean, it just helps knowing you're familiar with their offense. So it's like when you turn the tape on, you get a lot of, oh yeah, I remember that. Oh yeah, I remember that. You've seen that. Where that wasn't the case last week, there was a lot less. But it really doesn't matter because you still got to go out and stop them. It's just there's familiarity, but they have familiarity. They played against a defense extremely similar to ours twice already. So, and when it comes to scheme, they probably already know what they're going to do. Hugh Freeze probably went home last night at 5:30 in the afternoon because he knew what he was going to do against our defense. He's seen it before. So it's our job to try to create confusion and make it harder on them.
Coach, dealing with a team that's coming off of 2 losses like they have, what are you going to have to do to match Ole Miss's hunger and intensity that they will probably be bringing into this game?
Yeah, I don't know the answer to that because our hunger and intensity better be pretty intense to go to Oxford, Mississippi, one of the top teams in the country the last 2 or 3 years, and go play on the road in the SEC, which we learned last week is extremely difficult, and the environment will be just as or more chaotic when we go to Oxford, Mississippi. I can reassure you that. So our guys will be ready to play, and we got to get them focused on it. You know, the challenge to me is a lot more about the time that we play for both teams. It's a different environment when you crank it up early.
Kirby, in terms of defending the spread and the pass happy offense, and in terms of pass rush, what's the difficult balance in trying to pressure him but also have enough guys back?
I mean, that's like the question that keeps you up at night. There is no answer to that. You know, there's no perfect answer to that. You can say, well, you rushed him and you were wrong. Well, you covered him and you were wrong. I mean, ultimately, you have to have guys that dominate their box. So if I'm lined up over the guard, I have to be able to beat that guard one-on-one because somebody's going to get one-on-one matchups. I'm not for bringing more than they can block because they got guys out there that can run and catch the ball. And it's the dynamic that we deal with all the time. There's no right or wrong answer to that. You got to be able to pitch. You got to throw a fastball. You got to throw a curveball. You got to be able to change it up. You got to throw a slide. You can't do the same thing all the time. And I've sat and watched 3 teams play them, and nobody's really slowed them down. So from that standpoint, you got to create turnovers. You got to do a great job of affecting the quarterback. But that's hard to do with this guy because he's seen it all before. There's nobody that's invented a defense against a spread that's going to stop it totally. They are producing offensive numbers for a reason. They have really good players. So you're a lot better off saying, I'm going to play sound defense, cause turnovers, stop them in the red area, force field goals, don't give up big plays, all the things we preach on defense. That's what's important to stop the spread.
Coach, you talked about the kickers after the game the other night. What can you do at this stage, though, to get the confidence level of both of those guys where it needs to be? And do you have any other guys here on the team now that you could possibly look to as maybe some competition for them?
Well, they got competition between each other, and that'll continue. I mean, we kick field goals almost every day now, so it's a matter of putting them in situations to get them to kick better. I can't simulate the people in the stands that they have to deal with, and that's something that each one of them has got to work on individually, and we're trying to help them with. But to be honest, we've got to practice it, and we're going to continue to do that.
Coach, you guys have struggled to score off turnovers so far this year. How much do you stress that, especially with playing a team as dangerous as Ole Miss?
We always stress it. I mean, we want to score every time we get a possession, but especially after a turnover, we get it in their territory. We want to get down there and get points out of it. And I think one of the big struggles with that is we haven't made some of our field goals and we haven't capitalized on them. But it's something that we talk about all the time. Starting off the season, that was a big focus for our offense, was to be in the red zone and be able to score touchdowns and not have to score field goals. So that's a big part of being able to run the ball too.
Coach, what are some of the challenges an 11 a.m. local time kickoff presents to you?
Well, the biggest thing is getting the mentality of your players right. You know, it's a different mentality. You have to do that. The night before is different. It's nothing like our trip last week where we've got 2 meetings, one at night, one the day of the game. This is a wake up, eat pregame meal, go play. And they've got to have their mindset ready for that. I think Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday are important for that because they have to have a routine. And we want to keep that routine. And I think that's a big advantage for whichever team handles that best.
We saw what happened on 4th and 10 at the end of the game Saturday. I'm curious, what did you see in the timeout leading up to that play, and what did that reveal to you about Eason?
You know, that really didn't reveal anything about Eason to me because I've seen that in practices and I've seen him compete. But you know, to be honest with you, that play's done. I mean, we got to worry about Ole Miss. They're gonna have some really fast guys rushing. So I'm really worried about what they got rushing, number 10 especially.
Kirby, how much more comfortable, you talked after the game about Jacob growing up. I mean, just how much more comfortable are you after 3 weeks than you were going into the season?
You know, I don't know how much more comfortable. I think that the reps he's gotten, he's grown, he's gotten better. The kid's grown up a lot. And I think with each and every rep, he's got to continue to grow. You know, when you make one mistake, you don't try not to make that mistake again. When you don't call a play right, you try to call that play right every time from now on. So he's shown the propensity that when he makes a mistake once, he can usually correct that. But you're talking about exponentially how many things that can happen in a play that he's never seen. That now you're trying to fix all those things. Sometimes they gotta happen before you fix them. You don't learn unless you get the experience. And he's gotten some valuable experience the last 3 games, but let's be honest, he's a freshman.
Coach, on Jacob Eason, you may not like this question, but I don't think anybody's had a chance to ask you. You know, he hadn't been available, he wasn't available after the game. I've talked to him before in recruiting. He's obviously a smart guy, you know, a quarterback, and he was intimately involved in that game and that play. Why isn't somebody like that available for interviews? What's your thinking there? You don't want him? A freshman. He's old enough to be drafted and go fight for our country.
Sure, right, no doubt. What year is he in school?
Freshman.
We got a policy here, and Jacob Eason adheres to that policy too. Thanks.
Coach, second look after Saturday's game at the film, anything stand out to you about him? And also, are you prepared to name him as your starter?
Yeah, you know, big thing with Jacob is he's improved everything, and that's what we want to continue to do. He continues to improve and develop. It helps our offensive football team. You know, Jacob has done a good job up to this point. He has to stay in the mindset of being able to execute our offense. That's the most important thing. Yeah, and Jacob's going to be able to start our game assuming he has a good week of practice. He will. But that's the plan going forward, is that he continues to practice well and do the right things, and he'll be the starter.